Have you spent days on a data analysis? You collect the data from the complex systems, you clean the data, you check the numbers, you check the logic, and you deliver what business exactly asked for. And then you share it in a meeting or in an email. You are expecting there's more things coming in, and you will work out on a data solution with business. However, after you share it, nothing happened, just silent. No reaction, no decision, not even a disagreement, just silence. And that silence, be honestly, that hurts more than being told you were wrong. If this sounds familiar to you, you are not alone. This happens to many data analysts, including myself. And this is where the confusion starts. You delivered what exactly business is asked for, you followed the business requirement, you answered their questions, you delivered the data again and again. But why did the decision still happen without you? So here is the uncomfortable truth. You were not seen as a business partner. You are just seen as someone who pulls numbers. And if you don't understand the reason behind this, your work will still be invisible, no matter how good your analysis is. Hi, my name is Yu Li, a senior data specialist lives in Melbourne, Australia. And today, I would like to talk about why your data get ignored and what you can do to change it. It is just because the data analysis is not attached to a decision. So like most of the dashboard explain what happens. They are accurate, they are detailed, they provide all the information the business needs to know. But if there is no action attached to it, it's just the information. If your data analysis can't help someone to choose between option A and option B, it is easy to ignore. That's how data ends up with a support role. This may happen to your life. Business asks a question and you provide the data result. Business continue thinking about the solution and the problems, and the data team just waiting for the next request. That's exactly why data is not involved in the next decision meeting. And now, let's thinking about why in many organizations, business just keep data in a support role. Here is another hard truth. Most analysts realize it too late. Business often don't know what data actually can help them to decide better. So business asks for small specific questions. A number, a comparison, a trend, a quick check. And when the data only responds to those small questions, the impact are very small. And especially on our day-to-day work, we are not working for a strategy every day. It's just the small decisions making quickly. Over the time, data slowly becomes the team that provides the numbers instead of the team that helping business to reshape the thinking. Business doesn't naturally bring data into their next stage decision. There's another subtle reason which is often ignored by most of the data analysts. As a data analyst, we often explain about the data but not about the risk. We talk about metrics, trends, percentage. However, business decision makers doesn't thinking in charts. They thinking in consequences. Compare two statements. Which one do you think business will buy in? Statement 1, conversion dropped by 3%. Statement 2, if this continue, we will lose 2,000 customers in the next quarter. I believe you can feel the same data will lead to very different reactions. So people don't ignore data, people just ignore low stakes. If the risk isn't clear, the data feels like it's optional. It can't link directly from this number to the direct impact. Another scenario happens to me many times, which is the insight is correct, the number is correct, the action was clear, it still doesn't land in anything. It is because it sits outside of our stakeholders' control. To be more clear, if your recommendation needs another team, another approval, or another budget cycle to achieve, it is hardly for business to take it. The reaction from business is, well, this makes sense, this is good. However, this is not something I can act on right now. Insight without control, just turning into noise. And last but not least, let's talk about one thing that we don't want to admit, but it exists. It's the trust between data and business. Trust plays a bigger role than we like to admit. And trust in data is fragile. One inconsistent number can undo months of credibility. And for business, they may have numbers from different dashboard. As a data people, we know why that happens because of some of the different definition, different focus, different granularity, or even the pipeline running time impact the result. But from business perspective, they just feel data is not consistent. And from a business perspective, this quickly turns into one blame. If data can't agree with themselves, why should I trust them over my own experiences? If your data team falls into that position, how can you make business to trust your work and involved into the strategic decision making? So now, when data falls into a support role, it's rarely because data isn't good enough. It's usually because the questions are too narrow, the impact isn't clear, the insight isn't actionable, or the trust has been already damaged. As a data analyst, what can we actually do now? There are 3 tips that helps me succeed in my previous projects. Now, I hope that can help you to make you stand out. Tips 1. Understand the decision, not just the request. If you are not in a leadership role, this matters more. When you get a request from business, before pull any data, pause and ask questions to yourself and to your business. Why was this number requested? What decision is behind this number? What problem are they trying to solve? How does this connect it to their KPI? And after you have the conversation with your business, you may find you can provide another solution to helping them for their problem, and then you can also enhance your knowledge for the business side. Most of the business requests are not just for data, for the number itself, they are about uncertainty. Tips 2. Build the answer with your business, not just for your business. Don't just treat the request just like an order that you need to fulfill. It's not like you get a ticket, you solve the ticket. Treat it like a conversation. Make it interactive. Align with your business what good looks like. Sense check with all of the assumptions you made. Provide some support things to your business that is more than the question they ask. So when the business feels involved in shaping the answer, data stop being feel like a support function and start feeling like a partner. You are no longer just delivering the results. You are helping the business to rethink. Tips number 3. Report impact, not just the results. This is where most data analysts lose influence. Don't just start with, we analyze X and we found Y. Start your result with impact and then support that with your data. Remember to always add one more layer to your data analysis. What does this change? What happens if we do nothing? What should we consider next? So don't lead by a methodology, lead with the consequences. You are not telling your business what to do. You are opening a door to build a solution together. So let's redefine the real job for a data analyst. For our data analyst, number accuracy is just the baseline. The real job and the real value for us is to make decision easier for the people who take the risk. When data reduce uncertainty, people lean in. When it just report numbers, people move out. So if your work keeps getting ignored, if you feel your impact is not that big enough, it just means you are learning how to helping data into the decision. And once you get that right, your work starts to matter. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to know how to stand out by thinking beyond the number as a data analyst, please subscribe my channel. I will talk more real life as a data analyst.